Alright, guys, you ready?
No!
Yep.
Fair enough. Alright, we're cutting stream. Thank you so much. We're gonna see you in week number 7.
Yay!
Oh, sweet.
Sinks, thanks for showing up. It's kind of crazy that you're actually here.
Well, I said I would show up. I would
No,
just
it's also
be-
that you weren't at the last two.
I was.
No, you
Yeah, it
weren't.
was. The last one?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. That's when he changed up his power ranking.
That's right. Okay. Well, you've missed 2 though, right? I feel like you've missed 2.
I've missed a couple. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I feel like you missed like week 3 and week 4 or something.
I don't know.
I missed at least one. I know that.
Yep. But guess who's gonna miss his first? Bass. R.I.P.
Typical.
Wow.
Typical. It's his first one. You've still missed more.
That's why it's typical.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
You heard me?
Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the Week 7 Power Ranking stream. This was an interesting week. There's definitely
Yeah.
a few things that happened that both caused some controversy throughout the league and shocked a lot of people when it happened. Sinks and Nate, before we get to it, do you guys have any thoughts on this week?
I have one, but we'll get to that later.
I know which one you have.
I have one, and all I have to say is, dude, fuck Pelagic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't. This was another one of those weeks where I genuinely had no idea how to rank the Pelagic division. It was impossible. Once again, it felt like 6 teams could go anywhere. I just knew which team was 8, which we'll get to. And I know they're going to be 8 the rest of the season, no matter who they beat, when they beat them. Just have to keep them there because there's no point in ranking them. But that's my little rant about a certain team out of the way. You guys got anything else before we break down what happened last week?
I'll talk about it when we break it down. I'll talk about it when it's time.
Okay. Nate, you got anything?
No.
Alright. On to the recap. So, first off, we had the Abyss taking on the Fangs. This felt like a pretty scheduled loss for the Abyss. Inverted left the server. And Adam didn't have Rippo, so he was left with 2 subs. I believe it was Pugcat and Lucas facing the full Fangs roster. I felt like this was a scheduled loss. But the Fangs did their job. They're now tied with the Abyss at 3-3. MVP Toxic with 8 goals, 1 assist, 4 saves on 12 shots with 1,738 score. Then, in the first of 3 games that took place on Saturday, the Reef took on the Waves, and this one also just felt like a wash. Zaire has to step away from the league. He's going to stay in the server, but he just has other priorities. He needs to go over this league, so props to Zaire. But it kind of left his team in a jam. Slow did what he could, but it just wasn't enough. MVP Infrared, 6 goals, 3 assists, 5 saves on 11 shots with 1,573 score. Then the Orcas took on the Surge a few hours later, and this was somehow the craziest game of the week. It turned out to be a 2v2. It was initially for the Orcas going to be Mario and Yazoo. Mario had PC issues at the last moment. They forfeit game 1 because we're waiting to see if they could get a sub. And then Sinks decides, I'm going to play for him. And they end up taking that series. But Yazoo does end up getting the MVP. 9 goals, 4 assists, 12 saves on 19 shots with 3,018 score. The highest in the league this week. And then,
Yeah, that was the most fun I've ever had in a game.
I mean, yeah. We'll get to that game in a sec. But lastly, the Tide finished off by taking off the Tempest. Once again, I feel like the Tempest showed some fight, but just looked like they didn't have their consistency this series. The Tide take them in 4. MVP Chicken with 8 goals, no assists, 6 saves on 18 shots with 2,240 score. Now, I think before we talk about the games, I think we should go over the trades first. I think we should go over
That's
free agency
fair.
moves first this week. Maybe we can have this be a permanent thing that happens, but I think especially for this week, we need to talk about it early. We're going to start with free agency moves for this week. Starting with the waves. Hisro was not able to play this week, so he was dropped, and Silva played as a temporary sub. Luke is the same as Zaire. He has other priorities he's doing over this league, so he's gone. And Soklabat became a permanent replacement for him. Then the Abyss. Pugcat was the replacement for Inverted. Then Rippo was dropped, and I think Lucas was added. Yep, Lucas was added as a temporary sub. Then immediately after that game, Lucas became a permanent replacement, and Pugcat was dropped. Then a little later in the day, Lucas got dropped, and Bentolino was added as a permanent replacement for a certain reason that we'll get to shortly. Then for the Reef, once again, Eyes couldn't make a game, so he was dropped, and Alex became a permanent replacement. I think the Reef just got tired of the amount of games Eyes was missing and his ping inconsistency. So Alex is now the captain of the Reef because of a trade that happened. Obviously, Zaire left the league, so Fluxy made his debut for the Reef. And then after the trade, Fluxy was dropped, and Zilva was added as a first-round permanent replacement, which I think is a big move by them. And then finishing off the free agent moves for the Orcas, Mario got dropped and Sinks was added as a temporary sub. That was the final move of free agency. That was a lot. Anyone have anything before we get to the big trade?
I mean, it's just a lot.
It really was a lot. It was a carousel.
It was
thing.
hell for the spreadsheet.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I bet. Just so many different moves this week. But,
Yeah, and I got to it late because I had a lot of stuff going on this week, so.
yep. So, here comes the bombshell. This trade was building the entire week. The Reef had to wait till their game was over on Saturday to actually confirm this trade. But with this trade, the Abyss are going to get the round 1 player, the All-Star, Slow. And in return, the Reef got Rippo, who became a round 2 after this trade. So, how the rosters stand now, the Abyss have Slow as a round 1, Adam as a round 2, and Bentolino as a round 3. And then the Reef, with all the free agent moves and this trade, their roster now is Zilva, Rippo, and Alex, with Alex being the captain of the Reef. So, any analysis you guys got? Because I definitely have some.
I'm still not going to count the Reef out. Zilva's a good player, and Rippo is also really good. I think Alex could be a problem area on that team, considering he's Diamond right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, I'm still not completely counting them out, but I want to see how they play first before I do.
I mean, Silva played really good in that series with the Waves.
Yeah, he's a really high rank player.
But I mean, like, if you look at the other side, what that team's become, like, that was a very smart and bold move by the Abyss. Because I always say this, I check everyone's tracker to make sure I'm not seeing any inconsistencies. I've already caught a couple people that have looked like they've been either boosted or they're tanking on purpose, and I've messaged those players to be like, hey, be honest, what's happening here? And I've been 100% so far this season. But I looked at Adams, and it's legit. Like, he lost 100 MMR. I've done that multiple times. That's how this game has been. It's just a lot of ups and downs, and Adam took advantage that he was on a downswing, and he was at 1480. He was around 2, and he made a move for Slow before his rank got back up. Don't hate the player, hate the game, like, in my eyes. I don't know what if you guys have thoughts about how the Abyss handled that.
Certainly weird. I think the team probably improves off that, but I'll get to my opinions on the Abyss afterwards, like on Power Rankings.
Yeah. If we don't have anything else about the trade, we'll briefly just go over what we thought about each match. So we'll start with the Abyss and the Fangs. I just gotta say that the Fangs are a scary team. They really are. They didn't face a lot of competition this week, but they really showed off how good they are as a team when all three of them are there. I think that's really the only takeaway I've got from this game.
Yeah, I didn't see that game, so I have really nothing to say about it.
Fair enough. Nate, you got anything about it?
For Abyss Fangs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from the Fangs. Kind of like what you said before, though. It was definitely a schedule lost for the Abyss.
Yeah, you could just tell. But we'll quickly go over to Reef and Waves. Obviously, with this trade looming, Slow knew it was happening. He was the only real starter there. With Zare leaving, this just felt like it was over from the start. Even with no Hizro, no Luke. And I just gotta say, I mean, I'll get it to in my player power rankings. Zilva and Soklobot really shined on this Waves team. I'll go more into Soklobot as we get to the player power rankings, but I think he had an amazing week.
Yeah, I mean, I know Soklobot's a good player. I didn't see this game either, but I think Hizro and Infrared pair really well, and Soklobot he's NA, right?
He's EU.
Or is he EU?
Yeah. Makes it even more impressive.
Yeah. Alright, well, they're used to that because they had Luke. So I wonder if he's going to be better than him or not, but I'm excited to see this team play.
Now, best game of the week. Orca's Surge. Sinks, I'll let you go first. I mean, you were in the game. It was a crazy stream. You were streaming your POV to the rest of the league as you were playing, while me and Nate were casting, and you could hear our commentary, which probably makes it even more impressive that you were able to keep your composure like you did. So how do you feel after that game?
Oh my god, that was awesome. I don't really, like, there's not really much to say that I haven't said on that stream already, but yeah, it was a 2v2. I replaced Mario, which is insane because he's 1,000 times better than me. I haven't played in a month, and I was on EU servers, so all of the cards were against me and Yazoo entirely, and we had a forfeit game 1 because Yazoo couldn't have a teammate. So we had a game 1 forfeit. We started the series off. The first game that we played, we were down a game in the series.
You were also down 3 in game 2 and you came back.
Yeah, so game 2, we could have been down 2 in the series. We scored 3 goals in a minute and ended up winning the first game, which was game 2. And I'm not saying that I did, like, really, really good, but considering I was a month washed, I pulled a lot of stuff just out of my ass, mechanically. Like, I have no idea how I did a lot of that stuff. I also feel like I meshed really, really well with Yazoo. Like, I knew what he was doing, and you could hear the stream. We weren't able to talk to each other. So
that makes
weird.
it even crazier that you won that.
Yeah. Completely muted on comms. We were, again, all the cards were against us, and somehow, some way, we pulled it off. But I've never played with him before. I didn't have any warm-up. Started the stream, Yazoo didn't have a teammate. I started playing after a month, and somehow actually did pretty good. There were a lot of stuff that DNA and Shadow saved that I felt I did really good mechanically that I was very pissed about.
I mean, Nate, you were casting alongside me, so do you have anything about that game, Orcas or Surge?
Yeah, there's not much I'm gonna say about the Orcas besides Yazoo kind of did his thing on defense and Sinks balled out. I more want to focus on the Surge team, considering the fact that 2 permanent players were in that game and they lost, despite having an advantage. This does not look great for the Surge at all. I don't know how they're gonna continue at this later half of the season, but like, come playoff time, they really need to figure something out.
So, something that intrigued me was the fact that DNA was on East and was on EU servers just like Sinks was. And that should have been an even slate, but I felt like that ping affected DNA more than it affected Sinks.
Well, he had more ping than me. He had like 200, and I was sitting at 120.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a very big problem because Shadow already is EU, so that's already 1 EU player.
Yeah.
And then if he faces a team with 2 more, then you're playing on EU at least 2-3 times. And if it's 4, then you're playing on all EU, and then DNA is going to sit on 200 ping the whole time. I think DNA played great considering everything, but that's something for Shadow to keep in mind in the future, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the ping does have an effect. Like, there was a lot of like random rubber bands that kind of messed me up a little bit. There was this one play specifically that I watched it back on the YouTube video, and like, the ball went through my car. I had a clean save. The ball literally phased through my car and went in our goal. Like, you can go back and watch it. It was game 3. It was the second half of the series. I don't know. I think it was game 3, 4, or 5. It wasn't It wasn't the first game. But yeah, I think it was game 4 or 5. Either way, you can watch back if you want to and find it. It phased through my car. So that was me on 120 ping. I can't imagine what DNA had to face.
Yeah, overall, I think for the Surge, I think Shadow needs to keep that in mind, that his ping on EU is not good, like, at all.
Yeah.
If he's on East, I think he's a really good player, but that's a lot of risk for a team that's 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need a solid player that maybe isn't gonna be on 200 ping if he's on EU.
Yeah, so looking at like an EU or a East player, probably.
Yeah. But finally, Tide Tempest. Nate, congrats on the win again, bouncing back from week 5. What's your big takeaway from the series?
I feel like we still want to get our heads a little bit more in the game, but I mean, we were able to what's the word? I want to say cleanly take on the Tempest in a way that we just win and not really, choke. Because it is supposed to be our game, and if we lose that, we are choking.
Oh, I agree. But I gotta say, like, as me and Sinks were casting it, Sinks brought us up multiple times in that series. The Tempest were just, more specifically Lion, I think, was just trying to overshadow Meep the entire series and not let him get going. And I think that was the key difference, because they were in that series. If they just played differently. Like, Lion was trying to do too much, I think.
Yeah, Lion was trying to do too much, and I feel bad because I bashed him a lot on the stream, but a lot of the things he was trying to do, he can't do. Like, he looked like his mechanics looks very, very sloppy, and he was trying to go for things that he just shouldn't be going for. Like, he was trying to be on par with Meep, but Meep is actually way better than him. That doesn't mean that Meep was playing good in that series. He wasn't playing good in any means, actually, but that doesn't go to say that if Lion let him do more, he could have played better. So Meep didn't play very well either, but I feel like part of that is on Lion to let Meep get going, because he was trying to do way too much, and he was cutting, he was going for plays, he was going for balls in scenarios where he shouldn't be going. It doesn't matter if he's good, like really good mechanically or not, any player in that scenario, that he was going for balls, like either any player in that scenario is just wrong to go for it. So it was a lot of big mistakes by a lot of people on Tempest that Meep has some thinking to do. He's got to win some games at the end of the season. He's only got 4 weeks left if he wants to make it into playoffs, which I think is kind of a reach for them right now. But he needs to find some free agents that he fits well with.
I think that the Tempest are one loss away from being eliminated already. Because second, I mean, Reef, I think they're out of it. I think the Surge are 1 or 2 wins from eliminating the Tempest. But
yeah.
I'm interested to see what their matchup this coming week is gonna be because they're facing the Reef. So that if there's a series to win, it's that one for them. I felt like that last week against the Surge team, or sorry, not against the Surge team. I think they faced the Surge once, and I was like, this is the one to win, and they didn't. So we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this about the Tide, though. I think... I know Nate's here, so I'm just going to say whatever I want. He just happens to be on the stream. I feel like they don't look the same after the loss to the Waves. I feel like the fact that the Tempest were in that game, no matter how many times they messed up, it was kind of bad for the Tide. Like, they were soaring high earlier in, like, really early in the season, the first 4 weeks, and then they got slaughtered by the Waves, and they just don't look the same. Like, we could be seeing a downturn. They've had a pretty easy schedule in terms of the rosters that they've had to play, and they're played Tempest this week, which is a good get back after... a free win is a good get back after a loss to the best team in the league, but I feel like they have some things to fix if they want to win the championship, because being a top 2 team in the league, they got some things to figure out. They didn't look to play at the top of their game like they have been earlier in the season.
In a way, I agree with that. I feel like Chicken's still trying to do too much, because what made the Tide so strong before they faced the Waves was the fact that Chicken was distributing with Jake and Nate and making it more team game, even though they've got the best player in the league. If Jake gets going, if Nate gets going, watch out. Like, if you could get one of the two, maybe not all 3, sometimes all 3, but if you just get at least one of them going, whether passing to Chicken or Chicken passing to them, like, that's going to make them so much better.
Yeah.
Any final things about what happened last week in the Benthic before we go to play?
Nope.
Alright. On to this freaking week for the Pelagic. This was interesting. So we already start with Stingray Cyclones with a forfeit. Cyclones jump to 5-1. This is the second time this season that the Stingrays have forfeited. I hate to see a forfeit, but there was really no other way. But on to Trident's Sharks. What the hell happened? The Sharks beat the Tridents at 4. I don't know, man. The Tridents looked bad. We'll talk about it. But it was a 2v2. MVP Silks with 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 saves on 10 shots with 1,897 score. Then the Clouds took on the Bolts. I kind of saw this one coming. The Bolts swept the Clouds. No Hez that game. They brought him Mason as a temporary sub. It didn't seem to work out. Blazer wasn't there either. So it just felt like a wash for the Clouds already. MVP was Luna, who actually had his best game of the year so far. 10 goals, 2 assists, 5 saves on 17 shots with 2,203 score. And then this match. Oh my god. The last match of the year. Oh, my bad. Of the season, Luna. Sorry. But this last match. Monsoon Kraken. Oh, Okay, we're going to be professional. The Kraken beat the Monsoon in 4, jumping to 3-3. I think right now, if I do my math right, they are 4th in the league somehow. MVP was Silver with 9 goals, 1 assist, 7 saves on 16 shots with 2,407 score. Don't really have much to talk about Stingray Cyclones. It was a forfeit, besides the fact that... Oh, Hez was there. Crap, it was Blazer that wasn't there. That's my bad. It was Hez and Mason. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Hez. But not really much to talk about with the forfeit. And then we'll start with Trident Sharks. I'm going to let you guys have thoughts first.
Well, I felt like Solo and Jerry were just not on their game whatsoever. Of course, Jerry got dropped, sadly, but I don't know. Something with Solo just wasn't clicking as a team. Individually, he was doing fine. He was making the plays that he needed to do, but it just felt like Jerry just had no support.
I felt like... you mean Solo had no support? Because I felt like that was a... I hate to say a valid drop by Solo and the Tridents after that week, but Jerry, without question, played his worst week. He just couldn't get off of Solo. He was just rotating alongside him. It felt like the entire series in a 2v2. And I don't know if Silks and Driz did a whole lot where I'm like, damn, they played good. Like, Driz they looked better, but I still think the Trident should have won that. The Trident should be the better team there, even though the Sharks did their thing and were actually playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think Silks being MVP with 4 goals in a 2v2 really says it all. But Sinks, I bet you didn't watch this game.
I did not, as you can imagine.
Now on to Clouds Bolts. Like I said, I kind of feel like this was a scheduled loss. Like, I don't know. Luna played, I said best game of the year mistakenly, but I do think Luna really shined this series. It was really nice to see that.
I also did not watch this game.
Okay, well, I'll just give my thoughts. Nate, did you watch this one?
Yes, I watched it.
Okay.
I was a little sad to see the Clouds not really put much of a fight up. It was just a little disappointing. Blazer not being there probably affected a lot for them, but, like, I don't know. Hunt and Hez didn't have their best game, and the Bolts are actually going on a rise, in my opinion, skill-wise, because Luna... I don't know if it's the alcohol, but he played at his peak, so...
He really did. That was the best I've seen him all season.
That might be the meta. I'm not sure for them.
Not going to promote alcohol consumption before a game, but that worked.
It worked for him. I think that more or less just says to me that Luna really needs to relax more during these games, in my opinion. Because if he's constantly, like, punching himself for every mistake that he does, it kind of just gets to him over the course of a series. So it's good to finally see him bounce back.
So I'm about to have a stat. I'm interested in looking this up, but I just want to say that Gummy in that series had 17 demos.
Oh, that's basic numbers for him.
17. It was 3 games.
Yeah, that's regular.
I want to
slightly
check,
below average.
I want to check a stat. So I mean, you guys have thoughts on that?
I mean, we know he does that, so yeah.
Okay, so the Bolts won week 2, week 5, and week 6. I'm just curious. So, in the series they won, that Gummy was there, in week 2, Gummy had 26 demos. In week 2. Week 5, he wasn't there. Week 6, he has 17 demos. Now, if I go to weeks that he was there and they lost... Oh my god. Okay, this stat's invalid. Gummy had 21 demos in week 3 when they lost.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But that wasn't a...
He had 26 in week 2.
That wasn't a 5-game series. In week 2 and week 6, there were 3 games. And they was getting pretty much the same number of demos. I think this stat is still kind of valid. Because then Gummy in week 4 had 7 demos. I think there's something there. Like, if Gummy gets...
He had 2 games played in week 4. That was the whole dogs thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the...
So yeah, your stat is invalid. You had below average demos.
No, it was valid. The stat is valid. If Gummy is averaging 5.5 point demos a game in a series, they're undefeated. But if he doesn't get above 5.5, they've lost every game. That he isn't there. That he is there. There's something there. Like, I hate that that's what they're relying on to win this series, the series they're winning. But, I mean, it's the way they're going about it. And it's working when they execute it. I just find that interesting. But lastly, oh, Monsoon Kraken. So Silver had his second best performance of the season against the Monsoon, and his best performance was against the Trident. So that's 2 top 3, in my eyes, top 3 teams at that moment that he's gone up against and played the best against them. But he's faced Clouds and he's faced Sharks and looked horrible. Make it make sense, because I can't.
I don't know. I don't.
I also did not watch that game because I was in the stream on my phone.
You didn't want to watch it. That's the thing.
No, I didn't.
He was maybe hearing the commentary.
I really didn't.
It just doesn't make sense to me. And the Monsoon definitely, with their new roster, played their worst series together.
Yes.
I heard before the match they did a scrim and their mental was already shattered, but like still, even though Silver played his best series, I don't think the supporting cast around him did enough to where the Monsoon should lose that. The Monsoon are good enough with Fire, Scorchel, and Brainiac that they shouldn't lose that. And they did.
I don't know what to think of this.
I know what I think of it, and it's not going to change a single thought I have in my head over the Kraken. It doesn't.
I don't think that the trade that the Monsoon did really benefited them at all. But Oompa on the Kraken seems to be better than Brainiac on the Kraken. That's all I'll say.
I kind of agree with that, but just... I feel like the trade was fine. It's just the Monsoon gotta get out of their heads. They have to. It's one... Like, you can't get hard tilted on a scrim before your match. This is never gonna go well. Like, the scrim is just the time to get warmed up and get ready. Like, get your mechanics right. You don't even have to win the games. Just get mechanically ready. Like, if you keep a good mental before the Kraken, you're probably winning. That's why I'm like, was this a true win by the Kraken? Honestly, I don't think so. I refuse to have faith in them. They're going up against the Cyclones next week. If they get swept, then my theory's correct. And I think they're going to get swept.
Oh, in my opinion, if they get swept, it's the Cyclones. I don't really care about the Kraken getting swept.
The Cyclones are a great team. They're
Yeah.
playing great right now. Even they haven't had dogs in a couple weeks, which is also something to keep in mind. Because there was a forfeit and then the suspension. But this is the Cyclones match to lose once again. If they lose this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just blow up the Kraken. I don't care. I might
Yes.
I might just delete
Please
the
do.
team. I might just delete the team, bro. I don't know, because they're gonna be 4-3, and I'm gonna have to keep them at 8, which is impossible. I don't know. The team is a walking coin flip every single week, and adding Oompa to that team makes it even more of a coin flip. As someone who's played with him, as someone Luna's played with, who probably agrees with me, it is a walking coin flip. The only solid player on that team that is consistent in how he plays is Theo. I feel like I constantly know what I'm ready for when Theo goes out, and he always plays pretty solid.
Mm.
That's all I got. Hey, you guys got anything
Okay.
else about Pelagic Division?
Nope.
Alright. We'll quickly go through the free agent moves and trades. So, where is week 6? There actually wasn't much in the Pelagic Division. Manuk for the Sharks unfortunately left the server. He's having some mental health issues. I hope he's doing good. Sage is the replacement for him. Clouds made a couple moves. Obviously, Blazer couldn't play. They added Mason as a temporary sub. And then the Tridents, after their series against the Sharks, dropped Jerry and added Rarity as a permanent replacement, who will make his debut next week. So I think of all those moves, I just have nothing else for it because I haven't seen any of those players play before. So, you guys got any final things before we get to just quickly going through the standings?
No.
Nope.
Manuk has, but we're not going to talk about it any more than that. So to go through the standings, it's kind of all over the place. The only teams that have the same record are the Fangs and the Abyss, who played each other last week. So that's pretty interesting. The Waves sitting at the top, undefeated, only undefeated team in this league right now, in both divisions. Tied are at 5-1, followed by the Orcas at 4-2. Fangs and Abyss tied at 3-3. Surge at 2-4. Reef at 1-5, and Sinks. Why does it say 0-5?
Huh?
Oh, and 6.
You did that. You said you were doing the team stats.
No, I said I was doing Tide. You were doing Tempest. That's what I said.
I did Tempest, and you said I will do the team stats.
Yeah, I said for Tide, Orca, Surge. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, then Tempest team stats are just not updated.
Yep. But Tempest
That's
are
all
all
right.
set.
You said you were doing all the team stats.
I did not say all. You're lying. It's fine. It's fine. We'll fix that later. But you guys got
I'll fix
anything?
it right now if I have to.
If you want. But is there anything that stands out for you guys stats wise here, or should we just quickly move on?
I like how the win-loss for every team is perfectly balanced. We go 6-5-4-3-3-2-1-0.
I love it too. But this I feel like just seeing this shows how much the Tempest gotta get a series win. Because I feel like they could make playoffs, because the Surge and Reef aren't playing good. I feel like the Tempest are actually playing alright. They're just small mental mistakes away from being in the playoff spot. I don't know. It's weird.
It's definitely tough. I can see it happening too.
But that's all I really got. I'm ready to move on to the Pelagic standings.
Yep.
So, Cyclones sitting at 5-1. Yeah. Then followed up second and third. Trident's Bolts at 4-2. Kraken are alone in fourth at 3-3. And then everyone else: Sharks, Clouds, Monsoon, Stingrays, all at 2-4. What the hell is the end of this season gonna be? What is this? What is this? There's 4 teams at 2-4. Only 2 of them are making it. Oh, sorry, 1, because Kraken are going to lose out. But, like, it's just crazy. And, of course, the 2 and 4 teams are all facing each other this week. I think it's Sharks and Monsoon. And then Cloud Stingrays. Am I wrong about that? I might be wrong about that. Nope. Sharks, Monsoon, Cloud Stingrays. I was right. But, goddamn. Nate, you got anything before we move on? Alright. Player stats. Something interesting. DNA had in the 4 games he played is now a top 3. Because average score. I know it's a 2v2. I just still find that wild. I know it's a 2v2 and everything, so it's not really something to keep in mind. But still, in a 2v2 averaging 500 points a game, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but you also got to look that because it was a 2v2, it put Yazoo, Shadow, and me up there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that guy sinks.
So, that's why I don't like 2v2s in a 3v3. They completely throws off the stats.
Hey, Nate, look at that 21 assists.
I know. I have chicken on my team.
Damn right. Also, I know Pugcat's a free agent, but 57% in 8 games played?
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else, or we good to go to Pelagic?
Think we're good to go.
The tradition every week.
Alright, how much?
71!
71? Hell yeah.
God damn.
He's so easily gonna break 100.
Oh, like it's not even close. Solo's got second most with 35. He took over Fire.
True. I mean, he had a series in terms of demos. I know Driz and Silks were really mad about it during the series.
Let's see how many he actually had. I can pull this up right now. Solo had 15 demos that game.
He's trying to put up gummy numbers that way.
He really
That
is.
was a 2v2 too.
Just so mean, Solo. God. But any final things before we get to our power rankings?
Nah.
Nope.
Alright. On to power rankings. So, obviously Bass is in here. We'll read off his while he's not here. So, I'll start with that. He has Waves 1, Tide 2, The Abyss at 3, Orcas at 4, Fangs at 5, which I don't know about that. Surge at 6, Tempest at 7, and Reef at 8. Then mine, I have Waves 1. I mean, they're undefeated. Makes sense. Tide looked really good in their match. Even though I've seen them play better, they still played really good, and I think they bounced back well from that Waves loss, because I think that kind of shook the mental a bit. Fangs at 3. Once again, when this team has all their players, watch out. And Arox and Toxic are just an amazing duo right now. And it pains me to put Orcas at 5, which I'll get to in a second. But I just feel like the teams above them are looking really good right now. Then Abyss at 4. I know there's a lot of controversy about the trade and how it impact the season. But even though Slow and Adam is a great duo, I think the teams above the Abyss are still better. And it's not like Waves, because Hizro and Infrared is an absurd duo. Tide mainly just because the way Chicken plays, and then once again, Jake and Nate getting involved. That is so crucial. And when they do, they're almost unstoppable. Then Fangs, they have a great duo in Arox and Toxic. And then NVM is a very silently strong third for that team as well. But I just don't know with the Abyss yet, because Bentolino is going to make his debut next week. The Abyss seem very happy with their roster right now, so I'm curious to see. Orcas, even though they won, they're up in the mix as well in my eyes. They're still playing really good. Yazoo has been a remarkable round 2. Melody's supposed to be coming back this week. And then Mori's Mori. He's been solid all season. He missed last week, but he's been constantly solid. So I still think that team can hang with the teams above them, but I think it's tight. Then Surge at 6, I'm very close. The only reason they're not lower is because the 2 teams below them are just in absolute shambles. But I kind of put all 3 of them in the same tier. Surge just need to get something going. That last series was their match to lose. They're already up 1 in the series. 2v2 against a player who hasn't played in a month, and also had to worry about running a stream. Like, I mean, what are we doing? Then Reef at 7, their team blew up. I almost put them 8 like Bass did, but once again, I said this last week, I can't move the Tempest up until they win a series. They just can't win a series right now. So, yeah.
Yeah. I suppose I'm technically next, since Bass isn't here.
Yeah, you're next.
Alrighty, so Waves at 1. Just gonna quickly talk about Circlebot because I think he is a pretty damn good replacement for Luke. I feel like he is definitely so far filling the shoes for him, and it is going to be at the bare minimum. Oh, sorry, bare max a side grade. Actually, no, minimum. Bare minimum a side grade to Luke, and I'm really excited to see how that team goes. I actually have the Fangs over us because I feel like Aarox can compare really, really closely to Chicken, and he just has a better supporting cast. So I actually felt like I had more confidence looking at that Fangs team, especially with how they were playing. For us, I feel like like Sinks was saying before, we're on a little bit of a downturn. And when it comes to matchups, we're probably going to be struggling because we even struggle against the Tempest during the later half of the series. For the Abyss, I know for a fact the trade is definitely going to benefit them. But I don't know if Slow was playing bad because he knew he was going to get traded, but he did not look his best in that Reef game. Him and Adam, not sure how good of a duo that's going to make, but it's definitely going to be interesting, and the fact that they're on EU servers, they're both on EU is going to be very difficult for them, especially since their third isn't. So it's more like we're just going to have to see how that team goes. Orcas, I have a lot more confidence in Yazoo now. I honestly had a good amount of confidence in him before, but it just kind of solidified during that series. There's not much I can say besides Mori does need to step it up for that team to really thrive and compete with the top 4. Because right now, it's just everyone with solid rosters. Solid 3-man, so if they can reach that point, they can definitely go up in standings. And then the bottom 3, Surge, really need to figure something out. If DNA can figure out how to play on EU servers, or Shadow can just do his thing on NA, then maybe. But at the moment, they're just kind of mediocre. We're talking like either getting eliminated from playoffs early or getting round 1. And then Reef, I mean, we're gonna have to see how their first game goes, but it's not looking great. I don't know if I have a lot of confidence in that roster, so I'm just gonna put them low for now. And then Tempest haven't won a game. If they win this week, they'll 100% climb to maybe even 6th.
Alright, 6.
Alright, I have Waves number 1, obviously. I know I said Tide are on the downfall, but I still do believe they are the second best team in the league. But they can drop. I don't think they have yet. But I know them, and I know that they can come back from whatever slump they're in. I don't think you guys understand how much that trade affected the Abyss in such a good way. I know the Fangs are good. I know Aarox and Toxic are a good duo, and NVM is a good third. But I just think Slow and Adam, like, that game was a one-off. This week was a one-off for both the Abyss and the Reef. Because of the trade. Like, they knew that it was happening in the background. So I don't think they cared. Like, we've seen Slow. Slow is at his peak right now. We've seen him in the All-Star game. We've seen him in games past. He is a really, really good player. Paired with Adam, who we've already seen, this is going to be a team to look out for. Like, these guys are going to be really, really good. I will be changing it maybe based on their first game. I need to watch the Abyss and the Reef first game. But based on the rosters, I don't think you guys are giving them enough credit for the trade. Just because of how bad Slow played in one match where he was completely outnumbered because his team basically left him. But yeah, I don't think you guys are giving them enough credit. I will give a lot of credit to the Fangs though, because I know that they are good. The whole middle grounds of my rankings can change every week, and I think they do change every week because a lot of like free agency stuff, teams are proving their worth, teams are proving who's better than who. It can change every way. I think the middle of this league and the Benthic division are very, very close with each other. They can go up, down, wherever they want to, and there's nothing else to say. Like they can change whenever they want to, based on how they play. Orcas are another one of those teams that can go up. They can also go down. But I believe when Melody comes back, Yazoo is at the peak of his game right now. He is impossible to get behind defensively. I've seen it firsthand. He's on my team. He was on my team for one game. He was incredible. It's a shame that I couldn't help him out a little more on defense, and we did lose a game. We had a couple of goals scored on us early in the series, but he's just a complete brick wall. Reef, that trade wasn't horrible for them. Rippo is a really good player who upgraded to a round 2, so he is at the top of his game. He's at 1400, sitting around there, I believe. He's really good. Zilva replaced Hizro. He's also really good. So they have their round 1 and round 2 player. The question mark and why I have them so low, why I'm actually really excited to see their game this week, is Alex. He was really good on the Waves. He was part of their early season wins. But him sitting at Diamond and the captain of this team, so irreplaceable, might be bad for them. Mm-hmm. But no matter how bad whatever the trade was for the Reef, no matter how much of a question mark Alex is on the Reef, the Surge are not going to be any better. They need to figure out another player who can play on EU servers with Shadow. DNA was just not really it for them, especially because he's central, 200 ping. Yeah. All the cards were stacked in their favor, and they still lost to me, of all people. So that's a problem area for them. And then the Tempest, I like, there's no more hope for the Tempest at this point. They need to go on a 4-game winning streak to have a chance, and I just don't see that happening. I think Meep is too humble. He believes too much in his team to drop anybody. There were a lot of free agents that came into this league. Infrared could have helped them tremendously, but he just didn't want to change his team. Like that, the reality of this league is that you have to have the best players, and I know you're trying to build your team, but you got to make some changes when you haven't won a game yet, and you've only made one real change. That's a problem. So they got to figure that out. That's why I believe that they're the worst team. I don't think they will climb that much. Even if they do win a game, I'll have to see how they play in the game. They might still be at 8 for me. I think you guys are way too down on the Reef, though, compared to the scenario that the Surge were in and what happened in that game. And also the trade for the Reef and the Abyss is so beneficial for both of the teams. So, yeah.
So my thing with the Abyss, the reason I have them for, is the unknown factor, because I do know what Aerox Toxic NBM is going to do. We've seen it happen. We see the results. Like, especially last week, they looked amazing last week. Keep in mind, against an Abyss team that was a scheduled loss, but still, you got to face who's in front of you, and they looked damn good doing it. But my thing with the Abyss, obviously Slow and Adam is an amazing duo. I have no clue who this Bentalino guy is. This guy could not be it. And that's the only reason the Abyss are below the Fangs right now. If Bentalino shows up this week and actually plays really well with Slow and Adam, then I gotta put the Abyss above. But as of this moment, I have no idea who this Bentalino guy is. He is... I think he's like 1100. I don't know how he's gonna perform with his team. So, right now, I just have them at 4. And then, to respond to what you said about the Reef, like, I just... The Reef and Surge was tough to decide on who I wanted above who, but right now, the Surge have a more confident roster. As much as they're not playing good at all, and I think they're very close, I'm just not confident in the Reef roster yet. Zilva played good.
I mean,
I just don't know if he played round 1 good. And
I know you take into account the unknown factor, but you gotta see what you do have, and you see that the Surge cannot win games. Like, no matter how the cards are stacked for them, against them, for them, they can't win games. And I know that there's an unknown factor for the Reef, but based off of what you've seen from the Surge, I still believe the Reef are a better team. I'm itching to see this first game, though. My opinion could change based on the game this week.
Same.
But I don't mind you putting the Fangs above the Abyss. I just don't like what you're saying about the Abyss. I do believe that the Fangs could be a better team than the Abyss, based off of how consistently good they play. But I just don't like what you're saying about the Abyss. I think that was an unbelievably good trade for them.
I think it was a good trade for both teams, but right now I just don't know with the Reef, and I really don't know with that third rounder on the Abyss. If he turns out to play amazing, then they're easily going above Fangs, no matter what the Fangs do. But yeah. And if the Reef play okay, if they even play okay and the Surge lose, Reef are going above them, no matter the result. Because I just the Surge team has one chance for me to be like, are they going to be able to barely make the playoffs? Because I don't think they're getting above the 5 teams above them. It's just, are they going to hold on to that 6th spot? That's the key thing.
Alright, you good?
Yeah. You got anything else? Aerox is asking why Abyss is above. You kind of missed it. The trade is making the Abyss kind of crazy. Slowing at him. But yeah. I have you guys above them because I don't know what that team's going to turn out to be.
I believe that you can be above them based off like how consistently you play, but based on the rosters, I think Adam and Slow are the scariest duo in the league.
I don't think I'd even go there yet. Because if they play on NA, what happens?
We've seen Slow play on NA in the All-Star game, and he played really good.
I think if the Fangs face the Abyss again now, on NA, I wouldn't say the Fangs smoked them, but I think it's in 4. Fangs wouldn't.
See, for the Abyss, I keep going back to the All-Star game. Like, they played on NA, they played good on NA. They're not going to play Hizro Chicken and Aerox on their home server. So, I think they played really good with each other in the All-Star game. Yazoo as their 3rd, obviously, but them being All-Star A players for Europe, if they get Europe servers, it's over. If they get NA servers, they still have a really good chance. I've seen them play. They're not going to play the top 3 players in the league on the same team. That's just not, it cannot happen. and it
But
will not happen.
my counter is that Hizro and Infrared were also both all-stars. Chicken was an all-star.
Yeah, but
Arox was an all-star.
Infrared
Toxic
was an all-star
probably,
B team.
and if there was one more week, Toxic probably would have been an all-star. And also, we kind of picked around him because his schedule was so brutal. But, like, all that being said, these 4 to 5 teams in the top 5 right now have all-stars. And that's been the difference. And I think it's really tight between the Fangs and the Abyss. I think all it takes is the Abyss having one good game for the Abyss to go 3.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they're all-stars, but you have to keep in mind all-star A and all-star B because there is a big difference between those guys.
I personally don't think there's a crazy difference between Infrared and Adam. I don't. You'll see it in my player rankings, but I don't. I think Infrared and Adam are closer than everyone else thinks. Especially the way he played last series against the Reef.
I know, I'm talking about you're talking about duos and how Hizro and Infrared were all-stars, about how Toxic was close to an all-star and Arox was an all-star, but Adam and Slow were all-star A players. They're really good players. They're top 3 players in EU. Like,
But I don't know their third. And I know that Soklabot has been amazing for the Waves. I know NVM has been rock solid for the Fangs. I don't know who this Bentolino guy is. He could suck. And then, obviously, they'll have to pick someone else
my argument was
but
never the third. My argument was the duo this entire hour that we've been talking about this. I said that they could be the best duo in the league.
Could be, yeah. I'll agree with that. They could be. But it's just how they handle NA servers, if they get them.
We're losing the plot here.
Yeah, losing the plot.
You're not hearing what I'm saying, and I'm not standing for it.
Okay. Any final things about these team power rankings before we move on to Blagic? Alright. So this sucked. I didn't know what to do. I panicked, bro. I panicked. I literally did. But we'll talk about Bass. We'll talk about Bass first. So he has Cyclones, Monsoon at 2, Tridents 3, Bolts 4, Kraken 5, Sharks 6, Stingrays 7, Clouds 8.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he goes based on what happened in the week. So what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm at a loss.
He wasn't present for any of the games, so
True.
you know, I'll give him a pass this week. He's had a very busy week, so I'll give him a pass. He doesn't really know what happened.
So, once again, I feel like I did this a couple weeks ago. I just hard panicked when making these tier lists. I had Cyclones 1, clear and obvious. I mean, we haven't seen Dogs play in a couple weeks. I guess that's a question mark. But I still think Dogs are alright. But
no, we saw him in the All-Star game.
Genuinely, after that, I don't know. I don't know anymore. The Tridents lost. The Monsoon lost. Stingrays forfeited. The Sharks won. The Kraken won. What do I do? I don't know what I do. I feel like I have to put Tridents 2. They're 4-2. As much as they lost in a brutal way, and they don't look great. They still have Rarity, and Ash is kind of an unknown, but I've seen Ash play a couple times, and he's alright. They get a pass for now? Question mark. Bolts at 3. I really like how Luna played last week. I think if Luna keeps that up, they're in a good spot. Monsoon 4. Ooh. I almost put them lower, but it felt wrong to put the Stingrays, who've had 2 forfeits this season, above them. This was a panic placement for the Monsoon because I just didn't know where else to put them. Stingrays 5, they're on thin ice, 2 forfeits, and it seems like their availability just changes by the second, so it's impossible to schedule around. Sharks at 6. I don't know if that was a Sharks win or a Tridents loss. It felt like a Tridents loss to me. So I did move them up 1, but I'm not there yet. I'm not convinced. Cloud 7, they're in shambles. Blazer is not being there after he played his best week without question was brutal for them, and I still am a believer that Hunt is not playing like a round 1 right now. I'm just not seeing it. And then I refuse for the rest of this season to put the Kraken anywhere above 8. They will not move from that 8 spot the rest of the season because I'm not going to play with the coin flips. I'm not going to do it. Because it's either they beat the best, one of the top 3 teams in the league, and I'm like, oh crap, are they back? But then the following week, they lose to the Sharks. They lose to the Monsoon. They lose to the... Who do they lose to? Who else do they lose to? They lose to the Stingrays, I believe. But, like, overall, just the losses they've had have been atrocious. But the wins they've had, I'm like, damn, they shouldn't have won that. Should have been a loss, but they pulled it through. I just can't have faith in them. I refuse to have faith in them.
Alright.
Go ahead, man.
I really, and I mean really, had no fucking idea what to do with this goddamn league. A lot of my things I just kind of half-ass put in, I'm not gonna like Kraken at 3, the Kraken are not 3, but they beat the Monsoon, so I put them above the Monsoon. And then, like, the Monsoon didn't look 8, so I don't even know what to say about that, but the Clouds also just, like, didn't do much. I probably should have put them lower in retrospect. And then, like, oh, yeah, no, the Tridents, they should be good. They lost to the Sharks, and I don't think the Sharks look that great. But, like, dude, it was a hard week in general. The only things that I can, like, confidently say, right, are that the Cyclones, 100% number 1. Bolts, I would honestly say 100% on number 2, right? The Bolts definitely come back. If they played exactly how they played last week, they are chilling. And the only other semi-confident thing I have is that if the Stingrays' availability does not change and, like, they actually get together for games, then they're gonna be at the bottom. Because at this rate, every team has a minimum of 2 wins, and to be competitive, you need to be able to play. That's all I have to say.
Hello?
Hey.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Alright. So I have Cyclones, number 1, obviously, clear and obvious. And from then, I'm screwed because I don't pay attention, and this week what I heard from is a shit show and a complete random just coin flip. So I put Bolts 2 because Luna is back. I've been waiting for him to be back for a while. I know Hi's good, and Gummy keeps demoing. So
yeah.
That's terrifying. I put Stingrays 3, I guess. I don't know why. The Sharks 4 because they beat the Tridents. Tridents 5 because they lost to the Sharks, and I don't know why I put Stingrays 3. I heard they were good. So, yeah. Monsoon 6, because I actually kind of watched that game, and they did not play. Fireheel played how I remember him playing. He's not really that good, but he plays... He has really, really good 50s, but that can't be your only aspect of your game. Scorchel, I really like how Scorchel plays. Scorchel's actually a great player. And then Brainiac, praise Brainiac. I'm never going to say anything about Brainiac. I love Brainiac. Clouds, I thought they were good last week. Everybody told me I was wrong, and they proved that they were bad this week. So, yeah. And then there was one. You know what?
For this tangent.
The most inconsistent team in the league, Silver, is either the best player or the worst player that I ever see on a Rocket League field. Theo, I don't have anything to say about him. He's pretty good. Oompa, what the hell is he? Who even is that guy? What, like, he's good, he's bad, I don't know. What the hell? What the hell? The most inconsistent team in the league because I have the 2 most inconsistent players I've ever seen in my life. Silver, again, Can he be good? Yes. Can he be bad? Yes. Is he bad? Yes. Is he good? Yes. I don't know what the hell to think about Silver. What do I think about Silver? I know that he can be good. I know that he is usually pretty good. But what the hell? He loses to bad teams and beats good teams. So I have nowhere to put inconsistent teams but at the very bottom because fuck you, Silver. Oompa, again, going back to him. Don't know what the hell he is. I don't know if he's good or bad. I didn't really watch the game, nor do I care to watch the game. I was streaming the game, and I didn't watch the game, because that's how much I hate this godforsaken team. Can't they just leave? Can't they all just go so that I'm not confused anymore? I'm already confused, and they make it 10 times worse. I don't have a damn idea. I don't give a shit about what goes on in Pelagic, because I don't watch it. Like, I don't know if it's because I never have the time to watch it. If I can't be at the stream, then I'm doing something so I can't watch it. That's usually for a lot of the Pelagic games because I just can't be there. But I choose not to watch it anyway. I don't know what's going on, and the Kraken make it so much worse. Okay, they beat the Monsoon, who I thought was a top 3 team, but they played like shit. So they're good now. And then what are they going to lose to next week? The Clouds? What the hell? Like, what are they doing? Why do they keep doing this to me? Why can't we just eradicate them from existence? Why does Silver need to keep playing in the league? Why does this team need to keep ruining my life? I don't get it. I wish the worst for them. I wish that they were just bad so that I could keep them at the bottom of my list. But no, they keep beating good teams. So I keep questioning myself, should I put them up there? But every game is a coin flip. I don't know what the hell is going on with them. So I'm just clueless. I don't understand. Every game, Silver's saying, oh yeah, I did good, Sinks. Are you proud of me? I didn't watch your fucking game, Silver. I don't care enough about you to watch your game. Okay? Oh, are you proud of me? No, because you played good for one game. That means you're going to play like shit the next game. So what? No, I'm not proud of you, okay? Play consistent. If you want to play good, play consistently good, then maybe I'll be proud of you for once in my goddamn life, okay? I don't get it. I hate it. I hate everything about them. I am losing my breath, and I'm getting lightheaded.
Let me just check that quick. You know, it's been a while since I looked at yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. That's exactly what I've been thinking ever since that game.
Anyway,
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
I think we're ready to move on. Yeah.
Yes.
I
No.
think
Move
so.
on. Move
I
on.
think
Move
so
on.
too.
Move on. Move
I
on.
think
Move on.
so
Move on. I don't care. Shut up. Shut up. Move on. Move on.
On to the Benthic player rankings. Holy crap.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm not gonna. So, Bass didn't get any player rankings, so I just copy and pasted mine on his. So, yeah. Bass seems to have a really good idea of what the ranking should be.
Can I go first?
Sure.
All right. So, I wanted to put myself in my own top 15. I didn't know where to put myself. Okay. So I don't know where to logically actually put myself. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna put myself at number 1 for shits and gigs. Okay. I know I'm not the best player in the league, but I also didn't know where to put myself with it being like a real ranking. So I just had to include myself in the top 15. Yeah. So I just put myself at number 1 for shits and gigs. Chicken. Best player in the league, obviously. I'm never going to change my top 3. I think Arox is really good, but I don't think that he is better than Hizro. I think they are both very, very close to each other, but Hizro being able to play as fast as he does and as good... like, he plays really, really good all over the place, and he's fast to get to everywhere he needs to be, so I don't see Arox going over Hizro. No matter really what I see from him. And then I have Slow and Adam, again, the top duo in the league, and literally all of you guys have it on your thing, and I don't know why you're not saying it. But yeah. I think, Striker, you are very, very high on Toxic. So that's a good thing for him. But I don't think that he's better than Adam, Melody, and Yazoo on your list, okay? But yeah, I have Slow, Adam, Melody, Yazoo. I should have put Toxic above Shadow in retrospect, but I don't know. this week was so confusing. Okay. I think I should have put Melody above Adam, but I don't know. My list is all over the place now that I'm looking at it. But the 11 through 15, Infrared, NVM, Zilva. I haven't seen Zilva really play that much, so if he plays really good on the Reef, then he will climb to the top, because I know that he is a round 1 player, but I really haven't. I haven't seen his game even. I just know that he played good in the one series that he's played in this league. And then I have Dylan Miracle. It's insane that he isn't on the team right now. And then Rippo, I have in my top 15. He is really good. Okay.
So before we move on any further, I think I think you guys are actually dissing on Toxic. I don't think you. Sinks, have you watched the Fangs the last couple weeks?
I have not, and I don't know why I put Toxic that low, because I know that he is a really good player.
He has been playing borderline better than Aarox. I think he's gotten MVP the last 2 weeks.
All right, well then that's a knock on Aarox a little more than it is a compliment for Toxic. That's a great compliment for Toxic, but that's still kind of a knock on Aarox.
I don't think it is, because Aarox has actually been playing pretty solid. He's been more of a playmaker on that team than Toxic. Toxic has been the shooter. Aarox has been the playmaker. And then NVM is just filling in where he needs to, which is why I think the Fangs are such a strong team right now. And Toxic's taking advantage of the role he has, and the fact that he's still around 2 technically, even though if he gets dropped, he's going to become around 1, taking advantage of that, and is playing amazing. Like, I think you guys are missing that.
So, can I say something real quick that we didn't say already?
Uh-huh.
By the way, for Twitch chat, if you see that Striker and Bass have the same list, that's because they do. Bass didn't put in his player submissions because he had a lot this week. So we just decided to copy off of Striker. I was looking at it, I was like, how the hell am I 14th on Bass's list? And I was like, oh, right, I forgot.
Yeah. I think I said that at the beginning, but thank you, Nate. Thank you. But I don't typically go through my top 10, but I will say this, having Aarox above his row, I'm mainly going off what I saw in the All-Star game. When it was Chicken, his row, Aarox, you know who reverted to the support player? It was his row. And as much as I love a good support player, and I think they're absolutely crucial to a team's success, I think the support player typically is the player who isn't the best. And I think his row played down to Chicken and Aarox because he knew mechanically they were better. And I think his row and Aarox could flip day to day. But as of right now, I'm very high on Aarox. I'm very high on that Fangs team. As much as the Waves are still the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, see, I don't see that. I don't see that the third player is the worst player on the team. I see that the third player is the best at defense typically because they play back, because the first 2 are more aggressive. The third is less aggressive, better at defense, and solid rotations. That's what I think makes him better than Aarox. I know Aarox. I'm not saying Aarox is bad. Aarox is a top 3 player in the league, and he will never move from that. These top 3 will not move from being in the top 3. I may put Aarox above Hizro if I really want to. I may put Hizro above Chicken. I may move them anywhere, but they will not. These are the top 3 players in the league, and there's no debating that. But I do believe that Hizro is still better than Aarox because his rotations and his speed, and he's just a better player all around. He can do everything you ask him to all over the field. Aarox isn't. I saw that All-Star game. Aarox is good, but he lacks on defense.
I'm there with that, but just the way the teams have looked the last couple weeks. His row wasn't there last week, so it's hard to account for anything right now in terms of that. But just the fact that Aarox has been here the last 2 weeks with his team and the role he's taken on. Yes, he's not the strongest defensively. The playmaking ability he has had with his team is very impressive.
By the way, Striker, your
mic. My mic. Hold up a sec, guys.
Alright, so it's not just me. I didn't hear what you said. I restarted my headset. I thought it was amazing.
I was saying robot because he was in a robot voice, and then he just kept continuing.
How's this?
Good,
Better?
good.
That's better.
Better.
Sorry, guys.
All right, say what you said again.
About Aarox and
Aarox
Israel.
and- yeah.
Okay, so for Aarox, I think he has taken on more of a playmaker role on that team, and I think he's executing it perfectly. Yes, he's not the strongest defensively, but I feel like Aarox as a player has been more crucial to the success of the Fangs than Hizro has been for the Waves. And I think we saw that last week. No Hizro there. It was with Zilva, Infarad, and Soklabat. Were they facing the Reef, who were struggling? Yeah. Were they also facing Slow, though? Still, yeah. And Zilva definitely didn't play as good as Hizro does, which is why on Sinks Your List, which I kind of agree with, Zilva is down, not in the top 10 yet. But he's still, I feel like Aarox is still more important of a player for the success of their team than Hizro is.
Yeah,
But-
you cannot use that Waves Reef game to back your argument about Aarox being better than Hizro. Like, that is just completely the wrong thing to do. Because
Hey,
that was
well-
a complete fluke one-off game, Infrared Masterclass, apparently. Silva, brand new player in the league. But you being so high on Toxic makes Hizro a better player. Because they are undefeated. You being so high on Toxic, saying that Aarox is just the playmaker for them, that doesn't make him better than Hizro. If anything, that makes him worse than Hizro. Because you said it yourself that Toxic is playing a little better than Aarox, and then you say you have Aarox above Hizro. Like, you're just wrong. You're literally just wrong.
This is
Like,
by no means.
just being a playmaker doesn't make you better than a guy who can do everything you ask him to all over the field.
I'm by no means saying that Hizro is bad. I want that to be.
I know you're not saying
clear.
that.
Like you said, that these three
I know,
players.
yeah, we agree that these are the top 3 guys in the league.
But I don't know. It's my list, and my preference is right now. If I was to choose Aarox or Hizro, right now I would choose Aarox. That's just for me.
You're wrong.
That's just for me, and I could be wrong.
Because
but
him, you said it yourself. He lacks on defense. He's just a playmaker. That makes Toxic better. That means Hizro is the better player. Because Hizro can do offense, defense. He can play in the midfield, and he rotates at the speed of light. He is a better player than Aarox. You said he lacks on defense, and he's only a playmaker. That means that he's not better than Hizro because he only does one thing because his teammate is so good. That's just you're wrong. Everything you're saying to prove your argument is proving my argument.
yeah. Oh, Dio, is that an actual stat that Aarox has 60 assists right now? I'm looking this up. But what I will say, I'm sorry my take doesn't agree with your take, but just me personally, if I was to pick one, I pick Aarox. That's just a preference for me.
You must not understand what you're saying yourself.
No. Theo's lying, bro. What? Okay. Whatever. Yeah, you're banned. But it's just a preference thing. I think Hizro could go back up next week. It could be just because I didn't see him play this week. Maybe if I saw him play this week, I would have kept him at 2. But that's just for me. To try to start moving this along, I'm going to throw my shout-outs. Even though I just had a debate with him. Sinks, goddamn, what a freaking series. That was so fun to watch.
Thank you.
So
I had so many clips that were saved by DNA that made me so mad.
And Shadow. Shadow had a big save on him, too.
And Shadow, yeah.
But Soklobot also, ever since he's gotten off the Fangs, he has been playing remarkable. Like, every time he's getting picked up, he's taking advantage. I'm like, that is a very solid round 3 player. And every week he delivers. I feel like he's very consistent. and he really stood out against the Reef this week. And then on the Reef themselves, I think, who was on the Waves, now on the Reef, Zilva, I think played very well in his row shoes, and I think he did his job and let Infrared do most of the work, which I think is fine. I think Zilva just didn't get in the way, and he did what a round one could. After that, it was kind of hard to find people to shout out, but I will say that I think Nate played a very solid performance.
Thanks.
NVM also, I think, is the same way. I just always am, like, impressed that he's a third rounder, the way he plays. So, I just shouted him out.
Yeah, can I time me? I want to say this for 1 minute.
Okay.
A thing about Tempest. Meep being scared to sign free agents is a terrible business strategy for him. I mean, he signed Lion, but it took him to go 0-5 to do that. He could have had Infrared and Soklabot if he just bit the bullet and signed them. He doesn't have to wait to go 0-6, 0-5 to sign people to his team. So these guys, Infrared, Soklabot being free agents in the top 15, like that's where Meep needs to like do a lot better. And if anything, I'm looking at next season too. I think the season is done for him. So if he's a captain next season and the season after that, he's got to be better at signing free agents.
I agree with that. Nate, you've been pretty quiet. Let you get your time.
Okay, finally. Chicken Hero A-Rocks. I'm not gonna get into my opinion because I feel like I'm gonna spark another argument.
No,
I am going to back you on that.
fine. I am fine with people having his row over A-Rocks. I'm fine.
I'm going to back you on that.
Fine. I think he did pretty good. He might have lost Womp Womp, I think. I don't know, man. Zilvia, I feel like, is a little bit of a sleeper pick that people aren't really talking about. He's not your stereotypical flashy round one player, but he is very good at team plays in general when it comes to either defense or just passing plays. I kind of like that out of round one. It's more unique than what we've seen, and I'm kind of excited to see where his sort of final placement will be, especially on this Reef team. Then, of course, Melody, Yazoo, that duo I feel like is just going to be solid. Where they actually place will be very, I wouldn't say inconsistent, but it will vary considering the fact that I feel like Yazoo might have gotten better than Melody. Just gonna have to see how that goes. Slow, I put him low for a reason. I don't know what happened during that Reef game, but he just did not look his best. I saw him miss a lot of balls, a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes in general, and if he did that just to throw the Reef game, I don't like seeing that, just in general. So I really just wanted to place him low on the off chance that was his genuine gameplay, and that makes me concerned. Toxic's really good. I'm not even gonna lie. I could have placed him higher, in my opinion. I didn't really get to see much of the Fangs during that game. I'm not gonna lie, I watched like a couple of games, but I just want to actually be able to get a full series with them and be able to watch it myself without, like, I don't know, being like, oh, they swept. Whatever. Shadow, he didn't look that great, I'm not gonna lie. He did his best against Sinks and Yazoo, but he just... There were some times that he glowed, but he should have been able to win that series. Yeah, especially if he was on the skill level of, like, basically anybody above. Meep, he looked alright. Lion, I don't know. I probably should have put Infrared above them, but, like, they need to figure something out. Soklabot, well, Infrared and Soklabot, because I have them both there, looked really, really good in that series. I was actually really impressed with how Sokolbot was playing. I think he's going to be really good for that team. And then Dylan's there because although he's not signed, he's just been good in general.
All right. Any final things you want to talk about with Benthic players and before we move on to Pelagic?
There are so many more things that I can say about Hizro that I've been thinking of this whole time, but I'm going to bite my tongue and not say any of them.
I appreciate it. Just let me have my opinion. I'm probably going to be wrong. I'm going to see Hizro play next week and then put him back to 2.
Yeah. I know that's going to happen.
Yes, I played Season 0. I had Luna and Oompa as teammates. There's a reason I hate on Oompa. there is a reason.
Oh, I also
now
played
he's on the
Season
most
0,
hated team.
and I went to the championship game. I had Silver on my team, and that's why I hate Silver.
Nate was there too.
Nate was there too. But I played against Hizro and Infinite. Was that who it was?
I don't remember.
No,
it was Azza. Azza, R.I.P.
Azza. I played against Hizro and Azza. I think they had a LeBron James come back on us, and that's why I hate Silver.
I do not hate Luna. Love that guy.
I hate Silver.
I felt bad for Luna.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
I hate Silver.
Time to move on.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna go first. I copied and pasted stats. I'm not gonna say anything, so that's it.
Cool. All right. I'm not really gonna go through my top 10. If there's something you guys want to bring up, let me know. But there weren't a lot of crazy shout-outs here this week in the Pelagic division. This was a rough week, but as much as I hate on the Kraken, Theo and Oompa played a lot better, and they deserve shout-outs in this week, especially Theo. Theo played very, very solid once again, so that fully makes sense to me. Driz and Silks, as much as the Sharks beating the Triads felt like a fluke, they still beat the Triads. You beat Solo, so in my eyes that deserves something. And then Mason made his debut, and he didn't look horrible. So that's really it for me.
I don't know what to think about my list besides, hey, you know what? Luna got bumped up for me a lot. He got his show. I'm really happy to see that. Hunt, he's somehow still in my top 3. I probably should have lowered him. And everything else, I feel like it just, bleh. It's alright.
Yeah, I mean, I hear Scorchel being like, yo, you got Cloud over me. I still think if Grizz and Cloud get back to playing the game, they are top 10 players in this league. And in terms of having Scorchel above them, I feel like Scorchel, in order to do that, would have to be better than both Grizz and Cloud, and I just don't see that right now. I haven't seen that game yet from Scorchel. I've seen it outside the league. I haven't seen it in the league yet. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that one game where I'm like, yep, there's Scorchel. He's going to rise. But I haven't seen it yet. And then that's why I was very sad to drop Fire to 5. Like, Fire was playing like a top 3 player all season. I know, Sinks, you were surprised. Like, why is this guy playing so high? Because he was playing really good. But then, like, you were like, yeah, this is the Fire I remember. And I kind of agreed. This looks like the Fire from the past, and not the Fire we've seen all season. So, I'm curious to see how the Monsoon bounce back. Also, it pained me to have Silver in my top 5. Absolute pain.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else on the Pelagic players before we get to our predictions?
I'm good.
Alright. Prediction time. So, I've got some takes. Fangs tied. I think it's... Oh, I probably should talk about the standings for our predictions, huh? Nate's winning at 16-8.
Look at me go.
Bass 15-9, and then me and Sinks are 14-10.
Yeah, and I try to make mine interesting every so often. So
I'm making mine very interesting, especially
like
in
last
Pelagic.
week. It was so boring. Everybody had the same thing, I'm just gonna do this.
So for Fangs Tide, I think it's gonna be a really good series. I don't know what Nate's doing. He's betting against himself, pretty wild. But I think if the Tide can get back to the Rocket League they were playing before the Waves match.
Oh my god! I just saw you have
win.
Tempest over Reef. Oh my god.
Yep. So Abyss Orcas, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a dogfight, and I think it's gonna be on EU, because if Melody and Yazoo's back, and then the Abyss, I think have all EU, so it's obviously gonna be EU. But I've been backing my boys all season, and I'm gonna do it again. As much as I think the Abyss might win this, I kind of want to just back my boys. They've been my team all season. I've been a little biased towards them, and I'm gonna keep doing it. The admin with the best prediction yet? Nothing. Just pride. Just saying, hey, I can predict better than you. Tempest Reef. This might be just trash versus garbage, bro. I don't know. This felt like a coin flip, and in my eyes, if there's one game the Tempests are gonna win this season, it's this one. And I'm just gonna try and see what happens. I'm gonna pick the Tempests and pray to God. The Reef are probably gonna win, but I love Meep. I want him to get a win really bad because I know he wants it. Wave Surge. This is gonna be quick. This should be a sweep, without a doubt. If it isn't, I'd be dumbfounded. But yeah, that's all I got.
Alrighty. So I said it before. I feel like the trio of Fangs is better than us as the Tide. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna be going into it slacking. I am gonna try and win it 100%. I don't give a single crap about prediction scoreline. I just want to try and, when I go into these, I always think to myself, hey, what is the most probable outcome? I'll go with that.
So you think you're going to lose?
Do I think we're going to lose? Again, there's a chance. There's always a chance.
There's not a chance. You picked yourself to lose.
Yes. I personally think with the way that we are playing, we are going to lose. Do I think it's a coin flip match that is going to go either way? Yes, I do. But I feel like with the way that we are going, we might genuinely lose. And that is my take. I don't know what everyone else is seeing, but when I see myself and my team right now against this Fang squad, it is scary. Period.
That makes me want to switch to Fangs.
Well, too bad. Womp womp.
I don't know. Keep going.
Anyways, Abyss, their roster, very solid. I mean, they have to win this if they want to, show everyone that they're good. And I believe that they will. Reef versus Tempest. I want to give Tempest the win. I will be really happy if they win. But at the moment, all I see is just a team that is hard struggling versus a team who is trying to, show themselves at least a little bit. So I just have more confidence that the Reef will try and do something. And then the Waves versus Surge. Like Striker says, this is going to be a sweep.
Alright. I have Tide over Fangs. I would love to see the Fangs beat the Tide. I think this could be a really, really good series. But I do think the Tide beat the Fangs. The Fangs are really good, don't get me wrong. I know I've been kind of trashing on them, but I know that they are a top duo. Aarox and Toxic are a top duo in the league. I don't know how ready the Tide are for that, but I also don't know how ready the Fangs are for Chicken if they can put their best game together. I have Abyss over Orcas. I can also see Orcas winning, but the thing is they have to get their full roster. They have to schedule a game with Melody being able to be there. And I don't really know how likely that is to happen. So I put Abyss there. I want to see Bentalino play, but I know that Adam and Slow are excited to play together. I'm excited to see them play together after watching the All-Star game. I do think they take this from the Orcas based on how inconsistent their schedules are. Reef over Tempest. I I do agree with you that if there's one game the Tempest should win, or the Tempest are able to win, it should be this game. A complete brand new team that was forged from shambles. So that's a recipe for disaster, but I see the Reef beating the Tempest based off of how bad the Tempest are right now. And then Waves. I'm just gonna say Waves. I don't think
Waves.
there's anything else I need to say.
Nate, I can't get over the fact that you're you're betting against
I might
yourself.
like can I change and put
No,
Fangs
no,
over
no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
now
See
want to.
I
the captain of the Tide pick himself to lose?
womp womp, little bro. I
Like,
don't care.
damn.
You're keeping a damn bit.
Just the lack of confidence. That's not what you need. Now you're gonna come into the interview and be like, "Oh, we're gonna win."
Oh yes, I am. I 100% am gonna go into that interview and say that we win. Because that's just who I am. This is the informative side of me talking. This isn't me trying to ego. This is literally me just like, okay, looking at these two teams head to head with an outside perspective, who do I think is going to? And for me, right now, it is the Fangs.
It's just wild. I really wish I could change now.
It is gonna continue to be the Fangs for me until I hit that damn field.
I also love the rivalry going on in the chat right now between the Clouds and the Tridents. This is wild.
I don't even.
This makes you want to put the Tridents lower. I can't lie. If you're letting the Clouds get in your head, oh boy.
This is exactly why I have them at 7. Yep,
But
exactly.
any final things before we finish this off with the pelagic predictions?
Nope.
All right. Oh, Jesus Christ sakes. Oh my.
This is before I saw stuff.
But
Huh.
look at me, 16-8 in the pelagic.
I don't care, dude. I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't
Look at
give.
me. And then
I don't care in the slightest. Okay.
then Bass at 15-9, Nate's at 13-11, and then Sinks at 500, 12-12. Where you're gonna get the best predictions, me, Bolts Tridents. I think this is gonna be really close, but the way the Tridents played last week, I can't back that, and I just don't know what this new roster is gonna look like. So I'm gonna go with the surefire thing, and hopefully we're gonna see that Luna from last week once again, and I'm gonna take the Bolts. Cloud Stingrays. I'm just gonna take the other team besides the Clouds, probably for the rest of the season. I don't have any faith in that team. I think the player that has surprised me the most on that roster is Hez, and that says everything. Hez has been playing good for around 3, and Hunts just hasn't had it. Blazer had it for 1 week, and then he wasn't there the following week. So I don't know. I picked the Stingrays, but the Stingrays could just forfeit too. So Sharks Monsoon, I don't know anymore. Monsoon just lost the Kraken. The Sharks just beat the Tridents. Who knows anymore? Literally a coin flip in my eyes, and I just picked the Monsoon because I think they are the better team. And we'll see if that happens on their match. Then Kraken Cyclones in 0 games. It should just be over when the match starts.
Alrighty. So, Bolts over Tridents. A lot more confidence in the Bolts. Tridents, they have basically a entirely new roster. 2 players that I think haven't even played yet, if I'm correct. Huge question marks for them, and the Bolts hopefully are going to continue the uptrend. I have Clouds over Stingrays. I don't know what to think of the Stingrays. They basically haven't played for like 2 weeks, so they're just kind of okay. Clouds, 1 shot. If you fail this, I don't even know what to say. On top of the fact that the Stingrays could forfeit again, who knows? but I think it's pretty funny. Monsoon over Sharks. Again, don't know how to feel about this matchup. I just went off of gut instinct and I said the Monsoon, although I could see the Sharks somehow winning. And then, oh my god, thank god the Cyclones are facing Kraken. I just need that team dead.
Sinks, you got anything? Or I'm just gonna...
I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I know that the Stingrays and the Cyclones are going to win. If the Stingrays don't forfeit again. I am currently 1v1ing solo right now. I believe that's Hisoka the Great is solo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, then yeah, I'm 1v1ing right now in a private match. He is
better
actually
not
pretty
listen.
good, but I'm better than him, obviously. I mean, that's not an ego thing. That's not a knock on him. It's like I was almost a GC, and he's a Pelagic player.
Yeah, hold that. This guy thinks he can 1v1 me, by the way. It's kind of
I did not say that.
No, like, Solo thinks he can 1v1 me.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, he's wrong.
Truth. Thank you, Sinks.
But yeah, I saw the Monsoon. I don't think the Monsoon are great. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know anything about the Sharks at all, but I just picked them to win because I wanted to be cool. But I do think we need to see Luna play in order to beat the Tridents. But I don't know. That felt like a one-off. That was kind of a new roster for the Tridents, and it was a 2v2 game. I believe... Hold on, Solo's about to hit a clip. Never mind. Yeah, I saved it pretty easily. But yeah, I think anything could happen this week. Anything could happen in the Pelagic division all the time. So yeah, I'm just kind of saying shit because I'm paying attention on the 1v1 and I don't really know what I'm saying or what I'm thinking.
Okay. Out of curiosity, a little debate here. Do you think that I lose to Theo and Solo in a 2v1?
No.
Thank you. Any other things?
You guys really don't understand how good C3 to GC is.
Yeah, there's levels to this. You'll understand.
There's levels to the shit.
It really is. Any final things before we wrap the stream up?
No.
Nate, got anything?
Yeah.
Actually, Solo is a great player.
Yeah, he's good for his rank.
Yeah.
There's levels to this. He'll learn that one day. But I don't got anything else. Nate and Six, any final words before we cut the stream?
GG,
I'm
go
playing
next.
with my food right now.
You really are.
Yeah,
I'm just
Alright.
doing. He scored 2 goals on me for me doing just the most complete random shit ever.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap this stream up. Thanks, guys, for helping out.
Yep.
That is gonna do it for the power ranking stream. No games scheduled yet. I just want it to be known that I will. This is the week of my birthday. I will be going away Thursday through Sunday. Hopefully, the other admins and the other casters are gonna be able to cover for me. But obviously, I gotta go enjoy that. It's my 21st. Gotta go live it a little bit. But yeah, I will hopefully try to cast games Monday through Wednesday. Try to get as many games in there as possible to make sure that they're not getting destroyed with games. But we'll see. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you for the first game, whenever it is. Have a good night.